Welcome to the world of Gintama, where everyone hates you, and probably rightfully so, because when you can't even make a simple side dish without turning it into a complete farce, people don't have amazing levels of patience. But now that we have cooking detail completed and hopefully tucked away for another lengthy time period, there's something else to delve into, and that is more Gintama. Not sure what it's going to be, but we'll have fun anyway. So let's begin. Okay. This is the school from the ending. The one with Kagura's brother. I almost said sister. It looks like a lovely place. And who are we following today? Bebop? Bebop. Okay, Kamari. Is it like... I see the teacher. But is it like how he's just going to go in and be the biggest hard man to show his power straight away? He planted a moron. Asserting dominance. I like how the majority of the excess students here are just that one Yato who, didn't get much screen time. I'm not sure you'll open anything. Basic multiplication. Is 7's the hardest part of the... Yep, just get out while you can. Find a nice, calm school. Go work on a farm, maybe. That might... You might live longer. I'm not sure we needed this recap after a few minutes of the episode, but still. Bebop. Is this just going to be constantly... I don't want to be here, let's transfer to somewhere else. One more. Bebop. I feel like these subtitles are doing whatever they like. Okay. They're just really early. I think he looks good. Could be worse. We've seen some characters been put in far more humiliating circumstances. I'd like it if my neighbours weren't doing DIY projects, but still. Although if the subtitles do still cause a problem, I'm going to have to stop and hopefully fix something. Sounds like a lot of work, though. Much like many members of the Gintama cast, I like the easy route. And how long is it going to be before we get introduced into the Oni and whatnot? If at all, because, you know, Gintama can pull the, here's some characters, but they're just in the opening and not actually for you to see. Another Shinsengumi storyline. Okay. I hope they're actually listening to the briefing. Yep, get them while they're inebriated. It's almost scary when you see Condor actually serious for once. And you know it's going to be a bloodbath when you see the rank and file members of the Shinsengumi. Are we going to get a punchline for this first act? Did they mobilise the full force of the Shinsengumi here, or is it only a small subsection of them? They're here just for a spa weekend, don't worry. Absolutely no reason for you to be afraid. As 50 to 100 heavily armed, or just armed, Shinsengumi members walk past. Does he have a cold already? Wait, was that it? So we just end on a shot of a runny nose. Don't wipe it for him. Is it an alien parasite? It will ruin the moment. I guess laughter will detract from the moment of battle. Yep. You don't want to get distracted. Yeah, he's just not used to it, the poor lad. Has Condor just lost all feeling in his face after many, many beatings? Stop jiggling! Why do I have to keep saying stop jiggling to Condor? It's bringing up terrible repressed memories. Tarzan. It's all going so well. Poor Tarzan. Why? What, distract him getting to do something else? Oh, make sure everyone has properly evacuated themselves. You don't want to go into battle on a full bladder. That's a very specific insult to him. At least we saw urinals and not just going where they stood. He just didn't want to get his trousers dirty. Success! It won't last. It has a mind of its own. Is it all just one big, elaborate test? If it wasn't Condor, maybe. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a Hydra. What's next? Ifrit? The good thing is, if he does get into a sword fight, the enemy might be too hesitant to attack. Maybe not do Freudian slips of these nicknames. Can't you just tell him to wipe his nose while you're alone like this? It's fairly simple. Do you really think Kondo is that mentally weak? After everything that he's gone through so far, he's not going to break down at the sight of some snot on, well, people noticing. How much effort did the animators go through to make sure it swayed properly? Did they have to use reference? At least use a tissue. I wouldn't tug too hard because... Yep. You might pull his brain out along with it. If you want to take them down, you have to get them all at the same time. It's some impressive control he has over his mucus. Thank you for the more Final Fantasy references, but still gross. Have you had time to wipe? Of course, yeah. How many times are you gonna have to go through the same routine? I think it's quite an effective tactic. Soul Society. Okay. He's gonna one-man army this entire thing just so no one says the Condor's got a bit of a runny nose. And that's when Yamazaki's gonna do something, isn't it? Careful! Watch your back, Yamazaki. Or your front. Yeah. There must be a poltergeist. I wouldn't get so close. You already suffered the booger attack before. You only told him to make sure his eyes are clear. Effective! He's more snot than man. I think I'll just surrender. Yes, bo 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 bo. Something like that. That's all I'm getting. So what kind of mayonnaise-induced nightmare is this? Oh no, he's taken a fatal wound to the snot. He's trying to retain a form. Wow. A good use of 3D animation. It's actually kinda good for, well, Gintama for one, but he didn't exactly try to blend in then, if this is the truth. Or maybe the best way of hiding in plain sight is to make sure no one wants to look at you. I have very little words for this scene. What are they going to do, or what is Gintama going to do to ease us of this horror? How does snot itself have a runny nose? Thank you. Taking care of him at the last moment. Please. Is the mission over? Is he going to start screaming every time he sees a runny nose? Yep. Thank you for pointing it out. You've avoided such a horrific scenes. Future. I'm glad I haven't been ill in quite a while. I'm not sure who has a better imagination now. Is it Toshiro or the man himself, Katsura? Because, well, do you remember his story about the moles? Yeah. It's only a slight leap from sentient mucus. Gintama just being Gintama once again, and we don't have to worry about if the mission went okay, because we know the answer is probably no. But that is the daily life of the Shinsengumi. Ginpachi Sensei. Oh dear. How can I get him to leave? I think you've got bigger issues. Yep. Pretty much. I feel like your advice here isn't exactly beneficial. Well, that's true. I'm still waiting until I feel like I'm a proper adult. Oh, it's sooner than I thought. Nice. Oh, how this story will go with his favourite presenter. Gotta make sure nothing ever comes out now. I don't want to lose most of my personality with it dripping onto the floor. I don't have that much to spare. Now, obviously, this time you don't have to tell me if you enjoyed the episode because, well, I know the answer to that. Instead, how many hours of therapy did you need? Leave that down in the comments. It is quite a common writing trope, technique, style thing of Gintama, of taking in a seemingly ordinary situation. A man has a runny nose. And then kick it to the extreme. And then think, nah, that's not far enough. It does seem as though a lot of Gintama is, let's find the craziest, stupidest situation we can, and then use that as the baseline for normal, and keep going. I fear for the sanity of a lot of people. And after I've watched almost 200 episodes of this, mine as well. I'm actually glad it can affect me to such a degree, because if it didn't, I'd be too far gone already. Unfortunately, there's more Gintama, so no matter what preparation you make, it won't be enough. I just hope you enjoy the ride. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to get more Gintama whenever it gets released, and there's still a few more to go at least. So, get a drink, have some rest, try not to blow your nose too hard, and I'll see you in the next one. If you don't want me sliding out of your nose on a cold day, then consider joining onto my Patreon to keep me locked firmly in place here. And with that in mind, I think you need to be grateful to Sal, Raywin, Electricant, Dynamite 1997, Shiwan, Jennifer Rojas, Mecha, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Dark Shadow 7899, Mats, and everyone else. Because otherwise, we may need a lot of tissues.